Oh, a quick update video for you. Front frame is in. See the picture frames all in there, and all the front frames where they need to be. Got everything lined up, and I'm really pleased with how that's gone in and settled down. What I have done is treated inside the frames through holes like this, for example. Gone right up inside with a squeezy tube of it's a chassis protector, so you can protect all the inside of the chassis rails to make sure all in here, all these tubes are coated on the inside. So that'll make them last. But yeah, she's all lined up. I had to do a fair bit of straightening out on the picture frame, but it's the original frame and I wanted to preserve it because obviously you can see it there, the chassis number's set in here, and that's the original, these are original components, so I wanted to make sure they were kept as is. But she's lined up, she's come up well, everything's square and true. So on to the most exciting part now, which is the bonnet, which I must say I didn't expect it to be as hard as it was to put together. But of all the components, there are many pieces to it. A lot of the pieces that you see here, for example, these are all support pieces that go in. That on this bottom edge, this is glued. So there's a lot of gluing under here to be done. And on this wing over here, you can see this one's been glued here. So that's already in place. And so there's a lot of lining up to do. I'm preparing over here to glue the front headlamp assembly, and that whole assembly has got to go in and is glued right the way around that bottom edge. And everything lines up. I got the stone guard in here, so any rubbish that comes in the front of the car this way will hit the stone guard and not the radiator that sits directly behind it. I wanted to make sure I had everything in place, all the light assembly, the stone guard, all of the air intake rails here and here. These all had to be in place and lined up to make sure everything fitted before we do any gluing of the panels, because once they're in, they're in. So but it has all gone together. I've got all the right fixtures and fitting in place, so she's tied together well. There's a few things I'm going to have to slightly tweak and change. One thing you can't see that's behind the radiator grille now, the front trumpet that goes up that way was all missing on the front, and I've had to make a whole front assembly to sit in there. But I'll show you that when this thing is right side up and on the front of the car. So next stage is getting this gluing done to really what you're doing is gluing the top center panel here and the side wings onto this whole center assembly. Because obviously you can't screw from the bonnet into it because you'd see it on the bonnet. So it's glued. The glue I'm going to be using is here it is. There we go, it's a 3M. It's 4200 FC. It's a marine adhesive. It's what's recommended. I've seen a couple of folks use it, and it should be ideal for this kind of application. It doesn't go super rock hard. It goes hard enough such that you can unpick it if you need to. But you can see on this panel here, for example, this has all been glued, and then a couple of pops in there, but it's been glued through to hold this rib in place onto sheet steel, so there's nothing on the other side because you'd see it. So making all these pieces is taking time. I've got a lot of men washers here and screws. You can buy all these bits if you want, but I'm trying to save some money. So but for the best part, everything I've got are all it's all Imperial. I wanted to keep everything the same. So there we are. So I'll glue the bonnet up, and when she's done, flip her over and whack her on the front of the car over there. Once she's on, I've got to do things like, you'll see there's a discrepancy here with the this bit sticks out and that doesn't. Same the other side. When these side panels are made, they're made and they're not cut off. So once I've got the bonnet on the car, I'll have to grind through here and cut back here to make sure this edge sits. I've already got my rubber in place here, so I can start to get this bonnet and this line in here with the bonnet coming down onto it just right. I've started to build the side assemblies too. This is all the locking mechanism and where the center pin goes. So it'll all come together. I've got all the bits to do it now. It's just going to take a little time. So I'll finish up with the bonnet, get it on the car, and I should then be able to show you pretty much the entire body assembly finished. So let's crack on with that. Talk to you again soon.